Okay, good evening and welcome to the July 2024 Orange Board of Selectmen meeting. We started a little bit late today. We had a situation, we had a little delay of game, but thank you for your patience out there. Okay, in the event of an emergency, you have to use the rear hallway out or the stairway that goes up the front. At this point, the back door is kind of blocked. Please rise for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Okay. Start with introductions. I'm going to start right here tonight.
Ann Denny, Secretary to the Board.
Judy Williams.
Good evening, and thank you for being here. PJ Shanley.
Good evening, Mitch Goldblatt.
Good evening, John Carangelo.
Good evening, Vince Marino, Town Attorney.
Okay, then. Very good. Public participation, right? Yeah. Oh, public participation is for any item that is not an agenda item. We allow 2 minutes per speaker to speak on a topic. Seeing none in the audience tonight, is there anybody at the table? Yes, Mitchell. Hold on.
Just want to let everybody know that the glass recycling is up and running. We've gotten some great participation so far at the transfer station. I just want to remind people it is for glass bottles and jars only, no lids, no tops, no corks, strictly glass. And the signage is now up to make it easier for people to see what exactly is allowed and what
Oh, you
isn't.
did get it.
So yeah, it's in.
Okay.
It's in. It's installed last Friday.
Okay.
So everything's up and running and doing well. So I want to just pay attention to the signs and we'll do well. Thank you everyone for participating.
Judy.
I just want to say thank you to our building department. Today we went through the process of getting our permit to upgrade our house a little bit. And they were absolutely astounded at how quickly everything went through. At about 4:30, they got a message that said the next stop and last stop is at the tax assessor's office. And they were saying that in the Fairfield County, it takes like over 2 weeks. You get no notification. You just sit and keep your fingers crossed. So I want to pass that on to everybody upstairs and say thank you.
Okay, very good. Anybody else at the table? If not, we have just a few things here. Just so all know, Mr. Oakenquist was coming, but unfortunately, he's not able to be with us at this moment. We lost an outstanding member of our community, born and raised here and passed away here, Ken Mitchell Jr. last week. Many people know him. He was very much written up, and if you came through the center of town a week ago on Tuesday, I think it was, there was a lot of fire trucks and banners and different departments and all like that, but Ken was way more than that. Ken was a school bus driver in the town of Orange for, I think, over 30-some-odd years. He was a landscaper here in his youth. He and Harold McGrath ran the carnival for many, many, many years. Ken was very involved. He was a Little League coach. Terrific guy. No matter where you ran into him, he was always really a terrific guy. And, hey, how are you? Was his standard thing. For me, it was, Jamesy, we got to look into this. And so Kenny will be missed. He was a great member of our Orange Volunteer Fire Association, and they did an outstanding job in his final ride, I guess is how I'm going to phrase that. The fireworks went off on the 5th. It was an outstanding event. We hit capacity crowd. They had to close the parking lot a little before 9 o'clock. Record setting, probably, we can fit 1,100 to 1,200 cars when the fair is here. They use part of the fairgrounds for parking for this event, and then a couple other areas that we don't use. So we figured there was somewhere between 1,300 and 1,500 cars on the grounds, and then many of the side streets were really corked up. It really was quite an event. We had to move up the fireworks. They came to me, my phone was dead, they were all searching for me and found me, and big storm was coming, and we did a test shot at 5 of 9 and shot the fireworks at 9 o'clock instead of 9:30. And boy, then it started to shower a little bit, and I've never, ever, ever, in all the years we've run this, seen those grounds clear so quickly. People just ran. So, but it was a great night. The police department, fire department, CERT, Park and Recreation, the Selectmen's office, who else? I mean, the Little League, the Orange Crushers. Without them, that volunteers of that family, it would not be possible to have the event. They start at 3 o'clock, and they were parking cars till almost 9 o'clock at night. So, thank you to them. But it was a fun event. Thank you. Yeah.
First of all, just echo what you said, and the band was great, and I thought that the fireworks, this is the first time that we, as the selectmen, took on the fireworks, bidding it, and did a lot of work on that. And I heard nothing but praise for the fireworks. I think we made a good decision on the vendor we used, and I think it went well.
It did, and the fire department has fireworks the first night of their event, which is Thursday, August 1st, and they're using, huh? Oh, Saturday? All right, so that's August 3rd, and, sorry, Ann, you put it right here for me. And they're using the same vendor from Maine. So, yes, they did a great job. Great job. I went down there to bring them the check. It looked like the whole cast of Duck Dynasty was down there working, if you can envision that. Beards. But they did do a great job. The farmers market is back. Tomorrow it will be back. It missed last week because of the 4th of July, but 3:30 to 7 tomorrow at the pavilion. The farmers market is back. That goes till the end of September. The Orange Fireman's Carnival is Thursday, August 1st, Friday, August 2nd, Saturday, August 3rd, and Sunday, August 4th. It goes to 11 p.m. each evening, opens at 5 p.m. on Thursday and Friday, 3 o'clock Saturday. Raffle tickets are available at the town hall and other locations in town. And it is very important, you're running out of time, so don't come up to the booth at the carnival hoping to buy a wristband for your children or grandchildren. You need to order your wristbands on the OVFD website. They are not sold at the carnival. For information, go to www.orangevfd.org. That's the Orange Volunteer Fire Department.org, and that's where you purchase the wristbands for your children and grandchildren. Thank you. The only thing I was going to say, Mitch, was on the glass. I was there, and there was a lot of other stuff that didn't belong in there, which costs us more money when the dumpster has other debris in it. People, please, read the signs. That dumpster is just straight glass, not the plastic bags that carry it, not the paper bags that carry it, not the corks, not the caps. Glass, just the glass. If you put pickle jars in there, don't put them in there with the metal lid on them, please. Or the pickles. Thank you, Mr. Marino. So, with that said, that's all I got on that. Okay. You never know. To consider and act on the minutes of the June 12th, 2024 public hearing for the neighborhood assistance and the regular meeting of the Board of Selectmen. The unapproved minutes are before you. Are there any errors, omissions, or corrections? If so, state the page and paragraph. And if not, is there a motion to approve?
I thought I marked it, and I thought I had it, and I didn't. Give me 1 second. So, the number 4 under new business on page 3, it says that the item was tabled, but I think that took a vote to be tabled. I think in order to table something, didn't we take a vote to do that?
It only requires one person.
I thought we just,
We just said,
I
okay.
think we just delayed it.
All right, fine,
Till
that's fine.
tonight.
That's just
Yeah.
a technicality.
There was no consensus.
Fine.
No agreement.
All right. Then,
All right, with that, the motion made to approve the minutes as presented.
Second.
all right. Any other discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Oppose? Abstain? Unanimous. Okay. Old business is to consider and act on the fees for the tax office. Mr. Hurley is here tonight. Tom, I invite you up to the front, and then any questions that the selectmen have can be directed to you. Okay.
Good evening.
How's tax collection going? Is that good?
Well, it's very busy,
Yes.
okay? And I do have a couple of quick announcements, if you don't mind. One, don't expect us to answer the telephone. We're going to try to pick them up off of the voice system, leave a message, but we can't collect all the taxes and get them processed if we're answering the telephone all day. So I ask you to, indulge us a little bit on that one. The other thing is the website. Too many people are using the website from the prior vendor. We changed in December. The correct website is easily accessible from the town website, orange-ct.gov, and there's pay tax online in a little box at the bottom. If you click that, you're always in the right website. So don't, anything you saved, anything that you had off the bills or anything else, everybody seems to be having problems when they try and use that instead of following that procedure.
Tom, I have a question with
Yeah.
that. Is there a way we just disable that link so they can't Google it and they can't find it? If it's not?
No,
What do you mean, no?
Google remembers something forever. Okay,
How about
that's
we
the
talk
problem.
to, our IT guys? I'm sure there's a way we could get rid of
Should be a
that.
way that you could
absolutely.
disable it so
Yeah.
that it wouldn't click
Yes.
on when you do it.
Right.
We're,
This is
we're,
not
we're
operational
working
anymore.
on, we've been working on that since December and we have gotten nowhere. So, if somebody's got a miraculous way of getting it off of Google, I don't think that's possible, but.
I'm not suggesting it doesn't get off Google, but it should be a disabled or
Dead.
not
Once you
operational
get
link.
it,
It should be dead, and
Yeah.
instead, it allows
Yeah,
people to
let's
go all the
ask
way
tomorrow
through to the
about
tail
That we
end
could fix, I
before it
guarantee
gets
it.
dead.
Yeah,
okay.
So, we're constantly looking at these things. Obviously, right now, it's one of those things we're getting phone calls on. So
Okay.
that's why I wanted to raise it. Thank you.
So now we're on to what we had from last month, and there were some questions with some of the selectmen on a couple things, so who would like to question first? And then,
I'll start.
yeah,
So Tom, it looks like from your request, there are 3 areas that you're looking to increase fees. The first is a research project from $5 to $10. The second is a rebilling fee from $2 to $5. And the third is a same-day motor vehicle release at $20, which is right now no charge.
Actually.
Or not-
Mitch,
not applicable.
It's not applicable.
Right,
We
not
don't
applicable.
offer it.
Don't
So
offer it, and you're going
it's
to
not
offer a new
free.
service. Gotcha. Gotcha. So, I just happened to check with Guilford on all of those, and Guilford doesn't charge for any of them. Doesn't mean it's right or wrong, just as one comparison. My questions, though, come up, and I'll take them one at a time, and you certainly want to answer them one at a time. On the research project, I want to know what actually validates a research project versus a question or a couple of questions. The second one is the rebilling fee. If you're not mailing it, if somebody needs a copy of their bill, I don't understand why we're 2.5 times the price. And then the same-day motor vehicle release, I want you to take us through that, what the process is for
Okay.
doing that.
All right.
Thank you.
Can we start with the first one? And
The floor is yours.
the, let's see, the $2 to $5 request is because mailing costs are going through the roof. Our supplies that we have to print out are going through the roof. And I went to class recently, and most of the other towns are moving to $5 to cover those. We have not raised that, to my knowledge, since they first put it in, which means it goes back at least 9 years. And a lot's happened in 9 years. And there's absolutely no reason that taxpayers who are paying on time should be subsidizing people who haven't paid and are late. And so this helps recover that. In addition, we pay $250 to the state to have access to be able to do these things, because we put holds on vehicles and other things. So this helps defray some of the other costs the state's charging us that we're not
so the
recovering right
state
now.
charges you a fee when you put those motor vehicle holds on?
It charges an annual fee of $250 to have
not
the
each-
software
not
to do
each
that.
time.
Not each
Okay.
time.
All right.
Okay? Not each time. So it's a way of helping to recover some of the state costs that we have to incur every year in order to be able to use the state system in order to be able to put holds on vehicles. Okay?
Okay.
Can I just interject it while we're on that
Yes.
ballpark? How many a year do you see? As far as how many requests?
Let's put it for requests now.
For the holds of the,
Well,
many
oh, well,
holds on motor
those probably are well over 1,000.
a year?
Yeah.
Huh. Wow. Okay.
Yeah. We,
Well,
let
remember,
me-
our motor vehicle taxes collected are like, I think, $5 million?
I
vehicle?
think they're up to 6.
So think about how many vehicles that is registered to the
And
town.
the problem is we still have people thinking that the hold is, they don't have to pay until the hold hits and they have to do something at motor vehicles. That's not what that hold was for. And before it was at 2-year intervals. So at worst, you'd wait and lose that revenue for a year until you collected it. Now it's 3 years because they get 3-year renewals. So it's even worse now, and people just wait on it, and I don't know why. We've been trying to put the word out there that it's due July 1, okay? And for some reason, it just doesn't click with some people. And the supplementals are due 1 January. It's not the first day of August or the first day of February. It's due on the 1st of July and the 1st of January. We give you grace periods in order to figure out how you're going to pay it, but that's not to hold up until the absolute last minute and then try and do things. That causes all kinds of problems, and they're going to end up many times paying interest and everything else. They forget to sign checks. They forget to date checks. They don't put the words on the checks. We're going through that right now in July, and by the time we can get to them and get back, right now we only have mail. And that's a 6-day out and a 6-day back from the way that's been going with the post office. So if you put 12 days back from the 1st of August, that puts you into the middle of July, and we're still processing bills, and we haven't even seen some of those problems yet because they're in envelopes that we haven't gotten to.
We get bundles of, because he used pink envelopes this year, and we get bundles of them coming.
Now, we did do a few things to increase some costs because we had a lot of our, especially the elder community, that were used to having a little sticker to remind them in January to do something. So we included the stickers this year in the bills. So we've been trying to do that. We also have the other end of the coin where everybody wants to do everything online. We put a brand-new system in on that we're still breaking in, as I mentioned earlier, trying to get people at the right spot. Okay,
All right,
so.
let's stick to this. So
the,
can we move to research then?
Okay, research. Had a request recently that from somebody who was going to be an executor of an estate, wanted every tax bill back to 2015. Okay, that takes time. I mean, I don't mind doing it if we've got the time to do it, but and then there's printing costs because you have to print everything out, and maybe you even have to put a summary together with it. So it's not a zero event. And $5, again, it hasn't changed since 2015.
Tom, can I
Yeah.
just follow up on?
Yeah,
Can I just follow up on that?
yeah.
Because I had a couple of months ago, had to go on for an Orange taxpayer, who I represent, to get back tax bills. And I was able to get, I think I went back far. I don't know how far it went. Like 2012, 2011. I got it all offline for free. Or if they're available online at no cost, are these people being directed there in the first instance?
No, you can only go back 3 years right now with the update. You used to be able to go back further because under the old system, they just never took anything off.
That's not a bad system.
Well, unfortunately, right now, we only go back 3 years, so you can go back to
Okay.
2020.
Okay.
All right, that's
So
the reason.
anything that goes back beneath that means we have to sit down. Our system has the data, but nobody has access to our system except us, so
Tom,
we
can I
have to
follow
spend
up
time to
on
do that,
Vin's
yes.
comment? Is there an extra cost if we were just to leave them in there, so we're not disabling, I guess, the third year, it's falling off? Is there an extra cost to just keep it running?
I would have to talk to our new vendor. Our new
think we
vendor is
should.
working with our new, with QDS, and they settled on 3 years for putting it online.
Right,
That's
so
what
let's
they
talk to them,
agreed
because think
so-
about what you're saying.
I mean, we
Because you could
can,
just direct them to the
but
website, and they can get it themselves.
we do get people that want more detail, and they don't want to spend the time online,
Well, that's,
okay?
yeah.
So.
That's their fault, and they should
So,
have to pay.
I mean, again, you know, $10 to have somebody spend 2 hours of our time printing out stuff, records, summarizing and whatever, which these usually take at least 2 hours, if not longer, was not an unreasonable request.
It takes 2
Given
hours
that
to print.
it started,
Well, to go in and search them all.
it started at $5 in 2015. So.
All right, well, we'll leave you with a thing on that to find out if it's possible to leave the previous years hanging
We'll,
for a
we'll see if
period
we
of
can
time.
get previous years back added.
Yeah,
So, again,
in
these
the-
are interfaces that are constantly changing right now because QDS is working with multiple vendors, and they're trying to standardize on what they provide. So
Okay.
it may be something that they don't want to do anymore. So
Okay.
I will follow up and look into it further.
Tom, can you go back to the, you glossed over a bit, the same-day motor vehicle release? What, if somebody comes in,
I put that at the bottom of my, that's why.
Yeah, I haven't got there yet.
okay,
but-
sorry.
No, we haven't got to that yet.
No, we got stuck on the study. We do not offer same day because it's very disruptive. Most towns that offer same day, it is based on availability of staff and time to do it the same day. And many towns charge for that. The ones that don't tend to have a bigger staff, and they just do it as part of their thing. We don't have that size
Do you
staff
do
here.
a clearance once a week or something on that?
No, we do an overnight for free.
No, 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 no.
Oh,
Well, I think you might have just answered my question. How often a week, I'll call it, do you do,
motor vehicle releases?
Father Peter came in and paid his taxes on his car? so
If
that-
he
so that
pays
he's
it in
good?
cash, it's overnight. Cash
Okay.
at the window.
Okay,
Okay, if it's not, it's 5 days, maybe 10.
so once a week, generally, you're clearing
No, every day.
vehicles
We're doing it every day,
at the end of the day.
at the end of the day. We produce a file, the file
Okay.
gets sent
All
to
right.
the Department of Motor Vehicles, and they process it about 3 in the morning, and it's free. We don't charge people for that.
Okay, all right.
Okay? So what we're talking about here is a special service for somebody who wants something out of the ordinary, and we can't afford to go in and spend that time on every possible one of those 1,000 cases that are sitting out there when they finally pay their bill, and let them do it for nothing. So there has to be some gate, and the gate usually is a fee of some sort.
Because they're under the crunch because of either buying a new vehicle or
Right, if they had paid their bill in the first place,
going out
they,
of the country, something,
they
they want to
wouldn't be
register
there.
a vehicle, and they have to do it right then.
So is this presented to that person when they come in? And that's explain that they are going to be charged X, Y because?
it will be.
But-
Right now, we
But-
don't offer
But what
it.
I'm saying is, I mean, and would they, you would let them know why they're being charged?
We will
because-
post the fee.
Yeah, well, he
And then they
finds
can
that,
ask.
that some people don't read signs.
I mean, if
so-
they come in and pay
Just so that-
cash that day,
Right.
it will be released that night.
Right,
So the next
So
day,
the
they can
next
do what
day
they need to
can
do.
it. This immediate action fee that he's asking for would be somebody who has to have it right now. I need it right now.
They made the appointment
why
for
there's a fee
DMV
for
this
it. They don't wanna wait
afternoon,
till tomorrow.
and they can't wait.
They want it now.
so if it was that type of person, I'm just imagining what they're going to say if they all of a sudden got slapped with an extra fine.
They
That
probably
would
wouldn't-
be
It's
a-
they
it's not
probably
a
wouldn't
fine.
care.
It's a
Yeah.
voluntary fee. If you want it, okay, we
Otherwise,
will try
tomorrow-
and do it for you, but I can't have 1,000 people all hitting me
Well, you wouldn't have 1,000, but
Well, no,
otherwise it'd be
but-
tomorrow.
Yeah, I
They
mean,
would have to wait. This is for the impetuous person who just, now, I need it now, which we do see in our
the car
society
is
more.
sitting at the dealership and they can't get it off the lot.
And they don't want to wait until tomorrow.
They got
That's what it's
plans for
for.
tomorrow.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the intent behind this, and it's to meet that need for those people. Like I said, it's free if you wait overnight, and
So it's an immediate fee.
provided you pay cash at the window.
Right.
If you don't, then you're gonna wait 5 days, and that's
Till the
the
check
other
clears.
thing, when people say, well, I paid by check or whatever, we gotta wait for the check to
Wait for
clear
it
and
to
get
clear.
processed.
Yeah.
Okay, cash is pretty clear, you've paid the money, we've
All
got
right,
the
Mitch,
money.
does that kind of answer that one to you, for you?
I'm still processing it.
No, I can tell.
But I guess, so if someone was that insistent that they needed, they've got an appointment, either at motor vehicles or a dealer or whatever, and they're gonna buy that car today, what would it take? I mean, is it just a push of a button?
No.
Or just take me through what would it
Okay.
take, besides
First of
interrupting
all,
you?
we have to review the record to make sure there's nothing else outstanding they haven't paid. So that's the first step before we get anyplace else. Assuming that all that's left, and they're paying that bill right then, obviously, we have to go through the process of processing the bill and the payment and that sort of thing. Then, we have to go on to the state website and call them up by their civils number, and in order to do that, that means we had to print out a report that has their civils number on it, put it in, and then we have to make sure we catch not only them, but sometimes you have a spouse or somebody else on there, so you may actually have 2 releases you have to do to actually get the releases they want.
But you're doing that every day for everyone before you release it that night? You're doing all that work anyway for every single person, or no?
For the nightly releases.
For the nightly releases, the money comes in and the overnight check is there. If we were to suspect there's another problem, it won't be released by the system. The system will stop it. So we'd have to see that. So you've got 2 cars. You
Yep.
pay for one.
Right.
You still don't get released. And the system, the automatic system will stop it because you still have an outstanding bill.
Gotcha. But if I asked to do it right now, you'd have to check that manually.
I'd have to check that to make sure that that's clear. So I mean, there is
Otherwise, it
more
might not
effort
clear
involved.
Even if they do come in with cash.
But the big thing is the disruption to the office, because this probably takes 15 minutes before, from start to finish, for us to get through there. And I just don't have
So if
that
somebody
many
comes in
15
and
minutes.
pays that in cash, and you say it's gonna go through tonight, right? How are they notified if it doesn't go through? Because you're not checking it
They're
right
not.
then. Huh?
They're not. They go online and check themselves, because you go to the DMV site and the delinquent
If-
tax
if
flag will
they're-
be removed
Yeah, it
from your
won't
record.
be lifted. so
And they
the-
come back the next day, even matter, right? Because they gotta pay
If
another
it
bill?
doesn't get released and they paid cash, yes. And that's why I say I know from experience what it takes. It takes about 15 minutes to fix one of those problems when we miss, because the state, in all its wisdom
Yep.
and great systems, sometimes hiccups overnight and our file doesn't get processed. So if I have 20 people on that list, that means I got to do 20 manual releases, and there goes a couple hours of my morning just to try and clear that off. So it's not something we like doing when we've got a free automatic system, that if they just wait and pay the cash, or pay a check and wait for their check to clear, it would happen automatically. It doesn't involve my staff having to get involved, other than producing the report at the end of every day. And that is fairly quick. That's about a 5-minute process.
Okay. What was the next one?
Well, he's answered them. I just.
That'll do it for me.
The research project one was kind of like, how do you, so a taxpayer comes in and needs some research, how do you determine whether it's a simple lookup or something that's gonna cost me $10?
Depends on what they ask. It's a case-by-case basis, which is why it's a research
Title
project.
searchers more often than not, or is it people?
It's all kinds of people that come in and ask you strange things about the tax records. Mainly, you get people who are executors or somebody else, or somebody who thinks we didn't do something right with their taxes, and they want to go back to year zero and figure out whether or not we've actually taxed them properly based on their payments. I mean, we do get a few of those too. Again, we don't do a lot of studies, but I gave you the classic example,
yep.
the executor that went back to 2015 and wanted every tax record, motor vehicle tax record, real estate record, and any other record that applied to them. Well, that takes time to figure that out.
So if I come in and ask for records, though, you have the ability to charge me by law, I think, 50 cents a copy.
Right.
Or maybe if it's a bill, you'll charge me $2 a bill.
Okay,
Yeah.
let's go back to the rebill.
Yeah.
Rebills happen because the amount you owe has changed
The amount I owe has changed.
because of interest. You're late. Okay, so when we have to create a new bill to cover the new amount you owe.
Otherwise, they'll pay the bill with the old amount, and then they'll still be,
They'll still be delinquent with the interest not being paid.
So I come in 3 months late to pay my bill.
Mm-hmm.
Before I can pay it, you've got to issue a rebill to know how much I owe? Or
Well,
no?
the system will tell you that,
Okay,
and if you come to the window,
yeah.
we can work on
They can
that.
bring
We
it
will
up.
tell you the amount you owe, and we'll just take the payment and process it. We don't
Okay.
charge you a rebill fee for that.
Okay.
But if you have a demand note that went out, or a delinquent notice that went out, those things are a whole different kettle of fish. A whole bill is actually prepared and mailed. So we have a whole process to go through, and we have maybe hundreds of those to go through, depending on the time. And
So if I call you, you don't answer the phone, but if you get to my message later and I ask for a bill, my bill's going to be $75.35, and you're also going to put a $5 charge on top of that? How much?
not if you come to the window
No, no,
or you send me a check and just pay it.
No, but you want it mailed. I want that
If
bill
you want it mailed, yes.
You add $5
Right,
onto
because
that bill?
that's postage, envelope, and the new,
time.
we send out separated, special paper. It's got perforations in
Yep.
it, and that, it's much higher than a regular ream of paper, and if you've seen even the
No, I know
regular
what it
reams
is.
of paper, they're up. So, I mean, I just couldn't believe some of the numbers. We got, the last go-around, we got some of the last at the old price, and the new price is, another $15, $20 a box. So, I mean, it's ridiculous what's going on out there.
All right, without dragging this out all night, I'm going to, personally, I'll acquiesce to the same-day motor vehicle release, but I'm not in favor of increasing the research project. I'm not in favor of increasing the rebilling fees. I just don't feel printing a bill should be 2.5 times what it costs today, even if it's been there for a long time. That's just my personal opinion. So, from what I've heard, I'll grant you the motor vehicle release time. You've convinced me that if somebody's that desperate to get it that day and they pay you in cash and you've got to go through all that, then an additional $20 is warranted. But that's me. Thank you.
thoughts, John, PJ, Judy?
I mean, my thoughts are this, and I think, Tom, you did a very good job of explaining everything to us, and I thank you for that. It seems to me that the state of Connecticut as a whole, most of the towns and cities are doing this anyways, right? And this is not the town of Orange, hey, let's get a money grab here. This is in situations where you have people who have neglected to pay their taxes on time or are stopping you, respectfully, not just you, but the tax office, from doing the current work you have to stop and do another job for research or an unusual situation.
Correct.
This is not every day penalizing our constituents out there. This is something that's going to recoup the costs of time and money for the town of Orange. So as far as I'm concerned, respectfully disagree with Mitch that I think that we should accept all the proposals that you've asked this board to do because it's the right thing to do. This is not something that a person who pays their taxes on time all the time is being punished by.
They'll
These are
never
people who generally
experience
don't.
these.
Right, so that's just my 2 cents.
All right, PJ or Judy?
I think, Tom, you really do. You're very thorough, and I appreciate that. And I like the way where you said you were out hearing from what the other towns are doing. So I think that's important, too, to bring that to the table, that we're not heading off in a direction that nobody else is going to. And yes, paper's getting expensive, postage is getting expensive. So I agree. I think, move forward on all three. I
And
would-
he has worked to make things easier by doing a lot of this and availability of data. It's all available on,
Right.
whether you use your phone, your tablet, your desk computer, which it's available. And both to pay it and to research a lot of it.
That's what I was gonna say. I was gonna say, Tom, if you could direct people, if you're not doing it already, and I'm sure you are, and thank you for being here as well, to being able to do it themselves, so they're not paying the fee, and we're gonna be exploring making our database that much more robust. Hopefully, nobody's paying these fees, and they just do it all themselves.
A
But
lot
in
of
the
it
meantime-
nowadays, the younger people,
Right.
they're clickety-click. I mean, I'm like, can you call so-and-so and find out, But
Yeah.
it's the young, it's the
I do
young,
think
it's the
they're
young people,
reasonable
they
fees,
do
though.
this, so as we fade, they just pick all that up. So, okay.
I'd just like to mention that we are trying to deal with the entire range of experiences out there.
I would imagine.
And we added stickers back this year to the program. They were gone for a couple years, and we add them because of a specific request of our elderly. They couldn't remember because they didn't have the sticker to remind them on their calendars. There's other people that didn't even read the envelope or the information that went with it.
went with
And
it.
then they come calling on the telephone and wanting you to explain everything you've already mailed to them.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we do that when we can.
Okay, is there a motion to be made on this topic? Anybody?
I'll make a motion, we approve the same-day motor vehicle release, $20.
Second.
Okay.
Then
Take them,
vote on the other two
yeah,
separate?
yeah.
Well, I thought it was,
I thought it was.
I thought it was all one package personally.
Let's
So,
move
all right,
accept the whole
so,
package.
so the motion has been made and seconded for only same-day motor vehicle fee charge, disregarding the others presented. Any discussion on that? If not,
My apologies,
Go ahead.
just point of order. Are we going to vote on the others? Because
If
I
there's a
will make a
motion,
motion,
sure. Yeah.
I'll make a second motion
Yeah.
after Mitch, but I just want to make sure I have the ability to do that.
Oh, yeah.
you have the, if this motion, if this motion fails, you have the ability to make a new motion.
No. Jim,
No.
if the motion passes,
Well, even if it passes, you can make a motion for the other items.
I'm just looking at the
Either
one
or.
item.
You
I
can
want
go
to
either
split
or
them
with
up,
it.
that's all.
Okay.
That's my intent.
Okay.
Wasn't to preempt any other motions.
Okay.
Thank you.
So, all those in favor on this
Aye.
item?
Aye.
This is same-day motor vehicle. Okay, that one passes. Are there any other motions to be made regarding any of these?
Sure.
Presented
I make a
fees.
motion to approve the last two as presented by our tax collector.
Second.
Okay,
Just one last discussion, Jim, if I may. On the, I listened to John, and I appreciate his comments. But Tom, don't get me wrong, I appreciate you being here tonight and answering these questions for us and the research you've done. My issue mostly with the research project situation is this. What is to stop, maybe there's nothing to stop, the next department from coming in and asking us for the same thing? The zoning department has to do a lot of research, the wetlands department does a lot of research, the building department does a lot of research. I think that's just part of being a public servant. I honestly do. I mean,
We
you-
already have the $5 fee,
I see that,
so if you're worrying about precedent, it's already there.
I see that, but I'm just saying that that's my concern. I didn't know we
There
even
are-
had the
There are
$5 fee.
fees with some of those other departments already also.
There are fees, yeah.
I mean,
Well,
whether it's park and rec camp fees, if you're not doing it, then there's, well, no, but there's penalty fees and stuff also.
but people
all
are
right.
paying their taxes.
Motion is made and seconded on which two items, John? The last two? Okay. Any other discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
opposed? Abstain? All right. One out.
Thank you
They all-
very much.
They pass. All right.
And,
Thank you.
I appreciate trying to keep you folks informed better maybe than you've been informed in the past as to what's going on in my office, so,
All right, you're done.
thank you.
To consider and act on the request to conduct the 27th Annual Chili Run. Linda Cohen has been long sitting here in the audience tonight, and her husband had to go to work even when he wasn't planning it. Thank you for that, too, Doctor. Come on, do you want to come up and pitch the event? This is your moment in the stars here. Up here? We're going to put you right on the camera.
Linda Cohen, co-chair of the Chili Run. And, oh, by the way, Jane is doing much better now, so
I
we're,
didn't want to ask you, but thank you for that.
yes, so
Good.
we're very happy. Hopefully, she'll, maybe by
Attend
New
this
Year's
year.
Day, she'll be able to come, so,
Wonderful.
Sending her best.
okay, so I will message her that.
Yes.
And everything with, the plan is to be the same as we have been doing it for the past 27 years. so.
Yep.
And Jim, you've agreed to be, you'll be our
I will be there.
honorary chair?
Yep.
and- Okay,
I will be there. I'm thrilled to be there and also help serve chili if I'm asked.
yes, definitely, okay.
Yeah, no. So,
I'll run on the second.
in work, like Tommy Hines.
that
used to
I'll
say,
pay
yeah,
to see."
We'll run and work. Please. What Linda Cohen is pitching is the Amity Teen Center's New Year's Day 2025 Chili Run, which is held, it starts at High Plains Community Center and ends at High Plains Community Center. What time do people start arriving there to check in? It's early.
Like 9.
Okay, all right.
We
So they
get
make
there
it-
early to set up.
And you also have online in advance
Right.
sign up. That,
Yep.
there'll be online availability for sign up for that event also. I know that usually when the weather's gonna be good, you get hundreds of participants. I've
Yes.
witnessed it. So, the only group on here that you didn't list, but you have the police department and the AMR, the medical. Reach out to, Ann, if you check with Ann during the week at the office, CERT, our Community Emergency Response Team people, they're volunteers.
Oh.
And they help at a lot of different community events, all in their neon green. So they may be willing to help you at intersections and, getting the people in and parked and directed to where they gotta go and stuff.
Okay,
And
is that new?
They've been around for years, but they've got a lot of new participants. They just graduated another class a few weeks ago. So the fire marshal and deputy fire marshal, I'm not sure exactly who's orchestrates it, but those two can give you all the contact information for it. And that'll be another source for
Definitely,
help.
yes, thank you.
So any questions for Linda on this? We look forward to it. Is there a motion to be made?
So moved.
A motion is made and seconded. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstained?
Thank you.
You're done.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you, and thank you for your other work.
Great.
Okay, item number 2 is to consider and act on bid recommendations for the street sweeping. Mr. Britton is in the audience. They didn't need him in Bethany tonight. Thank God. We have 2. Oh, only one bid was received. Is this the company we used before? The current vendor, yeah. Yeah.
So we're paying by mile plus the hourly fee. Is that correct?
No, it's either or.
Oh,
Always ask, I think the.
so if they
mile-
drive fast,
I think the mile is when they are set loose and given an assignment, like, we want you to do the east side of town. And the per hour is when we need you to come in for a day or two to sweep ahead of paving or some project.
got it.
Different
Got
different
it.
service. So
Okay.
just so those at home realize, they sent bid requests by way of the state website to 4 different vendors for street sweeping, but only received 1 bid back. But they did attempt to solicit bids from the other vendors in the state that do this type of work. So July 1, 2024 to June 30, 2025, $425 per mile or $175 per hour, depending on which service it will be. And July 1st, 2025 to June 30, 2026, $450 per mile or $190 per hour are the fees. And
May
they're the only game in town, and we currently use them.
may I ask, how many streets and stuff are you planning for them to do? We haven't had a lot of salt and sand on the roads.
No, I think they're trying to do, every other year, do half the town.
We do about
Okay.
half each year, and there's about
Just a
100.
general.
And there's about, we're up to about, I think, 120 miles of roads in the town, plus or minus, so approximately. So they do half each year. One year they do this half, the second year they do this half.
The only question I have is, what are we currently paying?
I can't tell you that. Do you know?
This isn't what we're currently paying because the bid's expired, but last time we bid, 4 years ago, they were rounding off $325 an hour, $325 per mile, or $130 per hour.
Oh.
So they're up 35%
Mm.
in 4 years.
And I did look into buying one of these Broom Bear trucks, and it's, yeah, it's more than a couple $100,000 for one. I did think about maybe we should own one. Like years ago, we had our own sweeper, but we need some other trucks before we buy that.
Right.
I make a motion then to approve Tri-State Industrial Maintenance LLC of Oxford for street sweeping for 2024 through 2026 fiscal years.
Second.
Okay? All in favor?
Aye.
Oppose? Abstain? Unanimous. All right, item number 3 is to request conduct block party Muirfield Road neighborhood. Mrs. Shaw and Mr. Hartshorn are the requesters on this. They've had this before, and they know the rules about barricades and police, et cetera. All right. Item number 4 is, all in favor? Opposed? I knew how you were all going to vote. Item number 4, to consider an act on request to conduct block party in the Great Oak neighborhood. This was sent to us by Jody Deach. They also have a yearly up there and know the routine. All in favor? Vote. Just vote. Say yes. Don't worry, she knows how I do it. Item number 5. Poor guy's been sitting here, his collar went soft by the time he comes there. Well, he just submitted the other day. So,
Back on you.
come on up, Father, if you want, and you can tell us why. What this is, it's a letter, for those of you at home, from St. Barbara's Greek Orthodox Church. The Odyssey is always Labor Day weekend. It's quite a large and it's a major fundraiser for St. Barbara's Church. I think it's probably their biggest fundraiser.
That it is.
I would guess. And Holy Infant is having repaving of their parking lots.
This year,
So
so.
if everything goes right, it won't be a problem.
I don't know that they're going to be ready, so, and
It's-
they've been exceptionally generous to us in the past and wonderful neighbors, as we hope to be to them as well, continuing. So I don't think that that parking lot is going to be available to us. In the past, we've also used a shuttle up to Good Shepherd. The hope this year is to not confuse people and have 2 shuttles working in the same, when we'd love to use the High Plains parking area that we have used before, that the town uses for its large events, and this way just have 1 shuttle that's easily accessible from 95 or Route 15, and we're trying to coordinate, once we get the approval, how many buses. We'll probably have 3 circling and
Yeah, so they keep
continuing at
moving.
all times, exactly.
Yes, Mitchell?
Yeah, Jim, I'm glad this is before us after the fireworks, so that did not get rained out, so we don't have,
Yes.
we're not pushing things off to Labor Day, which just leads me to, we have no other plans for town event Labor Day weekend, do we, that we'd be using that parking lot to conflict?
Not that I am aware of.
Either am I just want to make sure there's nothing else. And then
You and I aren't aware of it, it probably is not happening.
In that case, I have no issue with it, just want to make sure there wasn't any other
Yeah, no,
big
there
event
is-
being
there
planned
is
that we're not.
no,
Okay.
Concert or anything. Last year, it was because of the 4th of July, just kept rolling forward. So, no, I have no trouble with this. This would be for the lot behind the pool and for the lot under the power lines, is what we're offering.
So moved.
Okay? Any other discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Aye. Oppose? Abstain?
Thank you very much.
You're all set.
We'll warm up the soup at the Bahamas.
Yeah, that's it.
Excellent, excellent.
Galactabutico isn't bad either. Okay. Pension Board,
Next meeting
Roll
is, next meeting is August 15th, which is the day after our next meeting. That's it.
okay. Fred Wolf Park, anything at this point, or we're
Nothing
in
to
holding
rep-
pattern?
Holding pattern at this point.
Okay. I think I did sign their contract, didn't I? They're all set, so, yeah. Okay, with that, we need to go into executive session. We'll be discussing the management of the, so, good night, everybody. Tom, hey, Tom, thank you. That, well, yeah, that's not a job you often want, though. So, thank you. We'll be discussing the Silverbrook Elderly Congregate Housing and the management of. So we will, is there a motion to go into executive session? Okay, we will go into executive session at 8:02, and we'll have some discussion on this. Okay, we are back in from executive session at 21, thereabouts, 22. We had executive session discussing the management of Silverbrook Congregate Housing and some shortfalls that I have been dealing with there. I needed to make the Board of Selectmen aware of that. We are not taking action tonight on that, but it may be a future action. So with that said, is there a motion to adjourn? Motion is made and seconded
Yep.
at 8:24. All in favor? Aye. Oppose? Abstain? Unanimous. We are adjourned.